Hi guys, it's Sharon. So today I want to talk about the mindset hacks that you can use to help yourself while going through a crisis. The reason I say you need mindset hacks is because when something is not going right in our life, the first instinct for our brain is not really to be solution oriented, because our brain is built to protect us. It sometimes goes into fear mode, and that will usually be that first thing that happens, like when you're going through a crisis, when you receive bad news, or when something doesn't go right. Your brain starts thinking of all the negative things, and your thoughts start to spiral down this rabbit hole. So but what can you do? Because if you stay on that path and keep going down that rabbit hole, you won't end up in a nice place, and you're not going to end up in a place where you've got solutions like you need to, or you're not going to end up having a good outlook on life. And so you're automatically putting yourself on a negative frequency, and you're not gonna have you're not gonna see the miracles, you're not gonna see the solutions if you're aligning yourself with the negativity and the negative frequency that's going on. So what can we do to move ourselves from that negative frequency to this other side, where we need to be, where we need to receive the wisdom, receive the knowledge, align ourselves with miracles, and align ourselves with solutions? So the first thing you want to do is write a new narrative. I'm going to say that again. So write a new narrative. You will notice that when things go wrong, obviously your brain is spiraling. There's a story going on in your mind, and it's just so I'll give you an example. So say someone just starts having bad, an upset stomach. Sometimes they can wind that up and keep going, oh, I wonder what's wrong, oh, I wonder if I've got this, or I wonder if I should go to hospital. And then they start imagining themselves in hospital, and then they start imagining what is going to go wrong when they go to hospital, or I'm going to have to be laid off from work, or I'm going to end up on sick leave for 6 weeks, and then I'm going to lose my job, and then this and this. You see where I'm going with this? So the brain just does that, and when you realize that that's happening, you literally have to stop yourself, and you just have to stop and write yourself a new story or a new narrative. I've done this before, whereby I just I couldn't take control of my thoughts, so I had to write a new story and read it out to myself every morning and every evening, in order for me to now start wiring into my mind that new story, and let my brain know that there is a different way to think, that I'm going to be okay, that this is not the end, or this is not the worst thing that could happen. And yeah, so you write a new narrative, and spend time several times a day if need be, and read that new narrative out to yourself, so that you start anchoring it into your brain to know that that's the path, or those are the thoughts that you now need to start to think. And that will eventually start phasing out that negative story that's been playing, and that victim story that's been going on. So the second thing that you can do is think of how life is happening for you in this situation. A lot of the time, when something doesn't go our way, or something doesn't work out, or something's gone wrong, or when we're going through a crisis, like I said, the brain automatically thinks of all the things that have gone wrong, or all the things that are going to go wrong. But how about if you flip that on its head and start to say to yourself, or start to think, this is happening for me, not to me, not to me. Because when you start thinking of this is happening to me, you now go in victim mode, and you want to get out of that. You want to get out of victim mode, and you want to go in a mode. You want to put your brain and yourself in that high thinking capacity, where you're thinking, right, this is happening for me. And there's been times when I've said that to myself, and I didn't know how Like, I didn't know anything that was good in what was going on. And at this point, let me just say this: at this point, you don't need to know how it's happening for you. You just need to start thinking along this line: this is happening for me, this is happening for me. And you have to repeat that to yourself all the time, a lot. You have to say that to yourself a lot. Guys, some of the reason why I repeat some of these things is because I want them to stick in your mind, because this is actually what you have to do. You have to do repetition. So I'll give you an example why. Do you know, like when you're in school and you had to learn the times table, you like you repeated it over and over again and over again. 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 10 is 120. And the more you repeat things, the more they get anchored into your brain and start forming new neural pathways. So these neural pathways are basically deep-seated beliefs that are inside your mind. So you've written a new narrative. You've now started to tell yourself how this is happening for you, and you're telling yourself over and over again. So now you're wiring into your brain all these other new neural pathways that are going to help you to find solutions, are going to help you have a positive outlook on life. And you don't even always have to see how it happened for you. There are things that I've gone through in life to this day. I don't know how they were happening for me, but I refuse to believe that they happened to me, and I don't always have to know. But as soon as I put myself in that positive mindset, then it increases my frequency and increases my vibration, and I'm now in a capacity of moving forward. So being solution oriented and allowing God to let this happen for me, and say the positive that's in this. So the other mindset hack that I'm going to talk about is gratitude. Gratitude, you guys, is just like one of those things that will like instantly shift your mental state, instantly shift your vibration, instantly shift you. And I don't always mean that it's always going to instantly move your situations and make it go away. No, but when you're in self-pity, there's two states here. You're either in gratitude or you're in self-pity. And when you're in self-pity, you think that you're the only person in the entire world that's probably having to suffer this way. But when you're in self-pity as well, you are choosing suffering. And here's the thing that I learned a few years ago that like completely changed me. Like, you don't have to choose suffering. You can refuse to suffer through a situation that you're going on, because if you choose suffering, that's it. You're just gonna stay in that state whereby you're like things could even be happening well on the outside. There could be opportunities, there could be open doors, but the minute you start choosing suffering and stay there and not want to not want to move out of that state, then that's it. You will not see them, because your mind, like I said earlier, your mind and your brain and your like everything about you is operating on this frequency. So if, say for example, you're watching TV and you switch your TV on and automatically it comes onto channel 4, they could be showing something different on BBC, but you won't see it just because you're tuned into channel 4 right now. So when you choose gratitude, you're choosing to align yourself with the divine, you're choosing to align yourself with God, and you're choosing to align yourself with possibility, and you're making an agreement with possibility instead of making an agreement with suffering and just inflicting suffering on yourself that is actually unnecessary. And I don't mean that we're robotic when things happen. No, when things happen, you get upset, you get sad, you cry. If you need to, you don't always need to. But if you need to, you cry. But when you finish that, you then need to get up and have a plan and have a strategy. And the biggest thing that you can do is have a mindset strategy that's going to help you out, that's going to lift you up, that's going to help you see the solutions and the possibilities, and just see how amazing life is. So guys, I hope you found this helpful. Leave us a comment, let us know what you found helpful about this, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.